Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast special edition show where I make my predictions for the 2023 NFL schedule. This is always a fun show I like to do each and every year. And obviously after it comes out on Thursday night, I will react to it. And I might do the reaction live as I did last year. All right, so let's get going here. So the first game of each season every year is usually the Super Bowl champs hosting somebody. And it just so happens that the Chiefs are scheduled to host the Philadelphia Eagles this season. So I have as opening night Eagles at Chiefs, the rematch of the Super Bowl from last season, as it would be Jalen Hurts, the newly paid Jalen Hurts and the Eagles taking on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. So that is a lot of fun. All right, so some other opening week predictions. Usually there's a doubleheader on Fox and on CBS, and I like to predict which teams are gonna get those games. So I'm gonna take a swing at it. So the 425 CBS Week 1. Let's go with a AFC West rivalry between the Chargers and the Broncos. Sean Payton's first home game with Denver against Justin Herbert and the Chargers. And the first 425 game on Fox this year. It feels like a tradition like no other that the Dallas Cowboys are usually featured in that game. And I'm going to say they are, except that they're going to be on the road against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Sunday Night Football opener. This is an interesting one. There's a lot of good options on the table. So I am going to go with a pair of teams that happen to be playing in the same division. If I'm not mistaken, this was the Sunday night game to close out last season. And I'm going to say it's the Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals. So that's a good Sunday night game. So Lamar and the Ravens at Joe Burrow and the Bengals, the first Sunday night game of the year. And the first Monday Night Football of the year. Sometimes there's a doubleheader week 1, but last season it was week 2. So I'm going to bank on the doubleheader on Monday Night Football being week 2 this year, because I think this is a special game between two in-city rivals that happens to fall on a day that means so much to that city. September 11th, the 22nd anniversary of 9/11, Jets at Giants, Monday Night Football. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman on the call on ABC and ESPN. There's no doubt in my mind that this is going to be the Monday night opener. There's some speculation about this being the case, but I had this penciled in as my pick for Monday Night Football Week 1 before that rumor came out. And it would mean so much to the tri-state area if Jets-Giants on 9/11 on Monday Night Football will happen. And I think it is indeed going to happen. And the first Amazon Prime game of the year, which would be the start of Week 2. Last year, Week 2, Amazon Prime was Chiefs-Chargers from Kansas City, where Kansas City came back and beat the Chargers, and Justin Herbert got hurt in that game. So there's a couple of matchups I've written down here, and there's 15 Amazon Prime games. And it's usually every week other than week 17, week 1, and then Thanksgiving, because NBC gets that Thanksgiving night game. So it's 15 of the 18 weeks of Amazon Prime on Thursday nights. So the game that I picked, it's actually a really good game between two quarterbacks that are very polarizing the league for different reasons. I have this team playing in Week 1 in primetime, and then their opponent, if I'm not mistaken, I think these two teams played each other on a Thursday night game. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. And the team that is the away team hosted the game 2 years ago, and these two teams played an outstanding Week 2 game a year ago. That was I think it was a 1 o'clock game on CBS, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been a 4:25 game. And that is the Dolphins and the Ravens. That was the Tua Tagovailoa breakout game. And Lamar and the Ravens were toe-to-toe with them. And then Tua and the Dolphins came out on top. So I think they're going to put that matchup in primetime. And that would be a great game, Dolphins-Ravens, to start Thursday Night Football. All right, so the other Thursday Night Football games I have written down are going to be in no particular order. Lions Chiefs, so that would be up-and-coming Lions. Should have made the playoffs last year against the Super Bowl champion Chiefs. Broncos at Bills. Sean Payton, Russell Wilson against Josh Allen. Chargers Raiders division rivalry. Titans Steelers. Who knows? Maybe it's Will Levis against Kenny Pickett, or is it Ryan Tannehill against Kenny Pickett? Colts Jaguars division game. Now all of a sudden an exciting game. It would be Anthony Richardson against Trevor Lawrence. Bengals Browns, a division rivalry. Deshaun against Burrow. Jets Patriots. Aaron Rodgers at Foxborough against Belichick and the Patriots. So that's exciting. Here's a doozy. 49ers Eagles. So the NFC title game rematch I have on Amazon Prime. I almost picked it for Week 2. But I didn't because I had the Eagles playing the Chiefs the week prior on a Thursday, so it wouldn't be fair to give the Eagles 2 Thursday nighters in a row, in theory. Cowboys Commanders division rivalry, that's always interesting, regardless of who's good and who's bad. Packers Giants, so Jordan Love against Daniel Jones. Bears Buccaneers, so Justin Fields against the rebuilding Buccaneers. Falcons Cardinals, two of the worst teams in the league. Usually Amazon does pick up one of those games. Saints Cardinals was on Amazon last year. Vikings, Panthers, so you have Kirk Cousins against Bryce Young, so that's a really good game. And Saints, Rams, an old school NFC rivalry. So we have Derek Carr against Matt Stafford, so two veteran quarterbacks. And I want to call Saints, Rams a rivalry. I mean, it really is the rematch of the Phantom non-pass interference call in the NFC title game all the way back in 2000. I want to say that was 2019 when it was the Rams and the Pats in the Super Bowl. Alrighty. So now we'll do Sunday Night Football. No particular order with the week. So we did opening night Eagles Chiefs, and then week 1 I have for Sunday Night Football I have Ravens at the Bengals. So in no particular order, the rest of the Sunday Night Football schedule predicted. Bengals Chiefs, so that's obviously the rematch of the last 2 AFC title games with Mahomes and Burrow. Chiefs Jaguars, so you have Mahomes against Trevor Lawrence. Broncos Chargers, so the same matchup I have in week 1 on CBS in the 425 spot with Nance and Romo I have here, except in Los Angeles. Jets Broncos, so Aaron Rodgers against Russell Wilson. Bills Chargers, so that would be Josh Allen against Justin Herbert. Jaguars Saints, Trevor Lawrence against Derek Carr. Ravens Steelers, great division rivalry. And last year was Steelers at Ravens on Sunday Night Football, so it's reversed. It's usually every other year they switch locations of the rivalry. Bills Jets, obviously this has to be on NBC. Josh Allen against Rodgers. Dolphins Eagles, so the reigning NFC champions hosting Tua and the Dolphins. Giants at Dolphins, so Daniel Jones against Tua. Chargers Patriots, so Justin Herbert against Belichick and Mac Jones. Eagles Cowboys divisional rivalry. And last year it was Cowboys at Eagles on Sunday Night Football, and the Cowboys hosted the Eagles on Christmas Eve at 4:25, and the Cowboys won a thriller over the Eagles, and they were in that game without Hurts last year. Crazy enough. Giants Cowboys, so the Giant Cowboy rivalry back on NBC. Last year Giants Cowboys was on Thanksgiving, and the Cowboy at Giant game was on ABC. That was Buck and Aikman. On on Monday Night Football. Cowboys 49ers, that's always a great rivalry. Playoff rematch from a couple years ago. Lions Vikings, great division matchup there. 49ers Seahawks, an outstanding rivalry that I think is pretty much back and better than ever. Or every bit as good as it was just about as the Legion of Boom against Harbaugh era, because now we have Shanahan against like Geno Smith and Pete Carroll. I love that rivalry again. And Steelers Seahawks, which is a really fun game. TJ Watt in that pass rush going against Geno, and that's just a fun game. Monday Night Football, ESPN and ABC. So I gave away my Week 1 guess of Jets-Giants, the 9-11 game at MetLife. And the rest of the 17 games, obviously we have the doubleheader, most likely in Week 2. Maybe they'll do the doubleheader another week. So this is all Monday night games for the rest of the season, as I predict. Chiefs at the Vikings, so Mahomes against Kirk Cousins. Commanders, Broncos, who knows, Sam Howell against Russell Wilson. Texans, Colts, interesting game between division rivals, and you have two rookie quarterbacks in C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson. Ravens, Chargers, so you have Lamar against Herbert. Panthers, Titans, you have Bryce Young and maybe against Will Levis. Jaguars, Browns, so it's Trevor Lawrence against Deshaun Watson. Bills, Bengals, a really interesting game. Obviously, the reason why I picked this to be a Monday Night Football game is because we did not experience that matchup on Monday Night Football last year because, well, the game started, and that was the game where Damar Hamlin unfortunately had his collapse, and they had to stop the game. We saw Bills-Bengals in the playoffs, but the game was in Buffalo. So, I think that Joe Buck and Troy Aikman deserve a second chance on calling what would have been an amazing game between Cincinnati and Buffalo. Jets-Dolphins, so Aaron Rodgers against Tua. Patriots-Cowboys, that would be fun. Belichick at Dallas. Vikings-Eagles, this was a Monday night game last year. I believe it was the 8:30 ABC game in Week 2, and the Eagles steamrolled Minnesota pretty much. Bears-Packers, always a fun rivalry. Different now that Rodgers is gone. Lions-Saints, fun matchup between two teams that are favorites to win their respective divisions. Packers-Steelers, a lot of old school in this game in terms of history and whatnot. Obviously, this was a Super Bowl several years ago, back when it was Rodgers and Roethlisberger. Now both those guys are gone. Falcons-Lions, Desmond Ridder at Atlanta and Jared Goff. Saints-Panthers, Derek Carr against Bryce Young, and maybe the best two teams in that division. 49ers-Jaguars, that's a really, really interesting game. You have the NFC runners-up in the 49ers against Trevor Lawrence and the Jags. And Rams-Seahawks, so Matt Stafford and the rebuilding Rams at Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. All right, the 425 CBS games with Jim Nantz and Tony Romo. I already predicted that Week 1 was going to be the Charger-Denver game in Denver. I have Chiefs-Jets, so Mahomes against Rodgers. So these are the Nantz-Romo games. Bills-Chiefs, that's usually Nantz and Romo. Thought about the Bills-Bengals, but like I said, I think Buck and Aikman deserve a second chance at that game. Chargers-Chiefs, Bengals-Jaguars, Ravens-49ers. So, obviously an old Super Bowl from 10 years ago. Bengals-Ravens, a good divisional rivalry. I have Ravens at Cincinnati on Sunday Night Football Week 1. Now I have Bengals-Ravens in a 425 game. Jets-Bills, obviously Rogers Allen. Bills Eagles, so you got the Eagles on CBS. And a random NFC game, Cowboys Giants from MetLife. Most likely to be Week 18. Ah, that's a good one. All right, the nominees, Chargers, Chiefs, Cowboys, Giants, Bengals, Ravens. Those are all division games. And Jets, Bills. Why not Jets, Bills? Most likely to be Week 18. I'm going to say Jets, Bills because of Rodgers. The Fox games. So I said my pick for Week 1 would be Cowboys at Bills. And then the rest I have Cowboys, Chargers, Seahawks, Ravens, Vikings, Bengals, Eagles, Jets, Eagles, Patriots, Cowboys, Eagles, so a lot of Eagles, Eagles, Giants, Lions, Cowboys, and Seahawks, 49ers. If you ask me what's going to be the Week 18 game on Fox, I mean, come on. It has to be Cowboys, Eagles, right? Those two division rivals. You know they're going to block that game off for Burkhardt and Olsen. All right, some specials. By the way, I forgot to pick a Week 18 game for Sunday Night Football. What matchup of these is most likely to be flexed? 49ers Seahawks is my pick for the Week 18 Sunday night game because that could be for the NFC West. And then give Eagles Cowboys Fox. All right, Thanksgiving. My 3 picks for Thanksgiving, the Lions always host the first game. My pick for their opponent, the Seattle Seahawks. I think the Seahawks deserve this opportunity. Geno Smith and company, they're better than they were a year ago. They have a shot to win their division, I think. The Cowboys usually host the late afternoon game at 4:30. I don't remember who called what game last year. I want to say Nance and Romo did the Lions and Burkhardt and Olsen did the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken. So Nance and Romo will get the Cowboy game, and boy, it's a sexy one. I'll give it away in a second. And then Burkhardt and Olsen will get Seahawks Lions. All right, so 4:30 CBS, Jim Nance, Tony Romo on the call. Boys, it's sexy. I have the Cowboys hosting the New York Football Jets. So for the second consecutive year, a New York team goes to Dallas on Thanksgiving. So Rodgers against Prescott and the Cowboys in Jerry World. That would be a lot of fun. And then my Thanksgiving night game, I have Chiefs at the Chargers. Great division rivalry. And that deserves to be in primetime. And usually it is the Chiefs with the primetime game hosting the Chargers, but this season I have it flipped. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, both games between the Chiefs and the Chargers are in primetime last year. I could be wrong. The league is having a Black Friday game this year, and I think this game will be at night because there's a lot of college football on during the day, and then we have hockey that day as well. So I think they're going to put the football game on Black Friday at night. And I have playing in it in a primetime game on Black Friday, the Cincinnati Bengals at the San Francisco 49ers. Two teams that were in their respective conferences championship games last year. Both of these teams were Super Bowl losers over the past 4 years. So a lot of things in common with the Bengals and the 49ers here, which would be a fun Black Friday game. Hopefully Brock Purdy's back for that one. I enjoy watching him play. And then obviously Joe Burrow and the Bengals are fun too. Christmas Day, I have 3 games. Just like I had 3 last year. Except the night game this year, instead of it being on NBC, it's going to be on ESPN for Monday Night Football. So Buck and Aikman will get a game on Christmas. It'll be on ESPN most likely because ABC will probably have Christmas games unless the 2 night games for NBA Christmas end up on TNT. But I don't think they'll do that. So I do think Monday Night Football will have a game on Christmas Day. But I'm going to say that either the 2 late games on Christmas will be on ABC, or one will be on ABC and the other one will be on TNT or something like that. But maybe they're both on ABC. All 5 Christmas games were on ABC last year, so for the NBA. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case again this year. All right, so Christmas Day, 1 o'clock. CBS had the middle game, the late afternoon game between the Broncos and the Rams. That was a blowout. Now it's the slime time game too. But so this year I'm going to have CBS with the early game. Broncos at Dolphins. That's a fun one. The Dolphins had the early game on Christmas last year too, so that's a little bit of irony there. You have Tua against Russell Wilson. 4:30 on Fox, I have the Jaguars at the Bills. So a weird Jaguars-Bills game on Fox with potentially Greg Olsen and Kevin Burkhardt. So that would be Allen against Trevor Lawrence. So that would be a lot of fun. And then in primetime on Christmas night, it's a sexy game. It's going to be on ESPN, I think. Or it should be. If they don't do it on ESPN, maybe it'll be on NFL Network. And maybe one of the Saturday specials will be on ABC instead. But I have the Eagles and the Seahawks. And let's hope that's Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, because that could very well be a preview of the NFC Championship. That's a freaking awesome matchup. And I want to see it on Christmas night. All right, some Saturday specials. So maybe Buck and Aikman get the 23rd game on ABC and ESPN, and then Eagles see. You know what? I'm going to make the prediction. Monday Night Football. So I kind of screwed this up. So I have 18 written down for Monday Night Football, but I forgot that Christmas was included. So maybe they'll do a doubleheader Saturday, and one of these games that I picked for Monday Night Football will be on the Saturday in a doubleheader. Well, I'll pick that one later. All right. There's usually that Saturday in December where it's a triple header. I believe it's going to fall on the 16th this year. So 1 o'clock on a Saturday the 16th. Let's go with the division rivalry. Browns at Ravens. And then the 4:30 game on that same Saturday. Let's go with somewhat of an interesting game. And that will be between the Colts and the Panthers. So that would be Anthony Richardson against Bryce Young. And then 8:15 on that Saturday. Let's have some fun here. Let's go to Lambeau. Chargers at Packers. Prime time on Saturday the 16th. So, matinee game on December 23rd. Not matinee, but a late afternoon game. We're going to go to MetLife Stadium as the Patriots will be at the Giants. Not the Jets, the Giants. And then the game I'm going to move to Saturday prime time. From Monday Night Football. I have to pick a game that I kind of have to move. You know what? I'm going to move the Bills-Bengals game. I have the DeMar Hamlin makeup game, I'm going to call it. I'm going to put that in primetime on December 23rd at 8:15 on ABC and ESPN with Buck, Aikman, and company. there. So that would be a lot of fun for that game that we missed out on last year in the regular season to be in its own spot on a Saturday night. And then the two games I have penciled in for, it would be January 7th, which would be a Sunday. Or no, wait, the Saturday would be would it be New Year's Day? Or would it be, the 8th so New Year's Day is a Monday. So we're going to have a game, a Monday Night Football game on New Year's Day, potentially. That would be weird. They would probably put that on ABC and not ESPN because of the bowl games and such. So a little bit of a wild card there. So January 6th would be that Saturday. So I have two division games that I'm going to pick for Week 18 that I'm going to pencil in for Saturday. Steelers-Bengals, which could very well help decide the AFC North. And then the NFC North, Vikings-Lions. So we'll put the Vikings-Lions during the day and then Steelers-Bengals at night. So I have the Bengals playing on two Saturdays, but obviously I want the Bills-Bengals game to have its own little moment because that's such a great game. So Bengals would play Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, which would be kind of weird in theory. Unless if I pick another game to put in that Saturday night spot. Would it be Jets? Could Jets Miami do it? Another division game? So you know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to put Bills-Bengals back to Monday Night Football. And I'm going to put the Jet-Dolphin game on a Saturday night. So it would give a sixth primetime game to the New York Football Jets. Because I didn't put them on a Saturday. And then, that wouldn't make sense either because I have the Dolphins playing on Christmas. Oh my goodness. So, this is a tricky one to figure out. Do I have the Patriots playing on a Saturday? Yes. Would Cowboys 49ers work on a Saturday? No, I have that as a Sunday night game. All right, let's see here. So the game I decided to put in that Saturday night on the 23rd was 49ers Jaguars. I think that makes sense. But the reason why I pulled Bills Bengals because I realized I had the Bengals twice on a Saturday. And I kind of like the idea of Steelers Bengals being on the last Saturday of the season. All right. International games. So these are predictions on who I think will be traveling this year. We know who will be hosting them, but who will be their opponents. So we know the Jaguars, Bills, and Titans will be hosting games in London, and the Chiefs and the Patriots will be hosting games in Germany. I have the Jaguars playing the Texans, so you have C.J. Stroud playing against Trevor Lawrence. Raiders, Bills, so I have Jimmy Garoppolo and the Raiders playing the Bills. And then I have the Titans hosting the Falcons in London. Germany, I have the Bears playing the Chiefs, so Justin Fields in Germany. And then the Patriots, I have hosting the New Orleans Saints. So there you have it with the international games. So now I'm going to go over how many predicted primetime games I have for every team and specials as well. But some of these numbers could be off because I made some changes on the fly. All right, so I have the Cardinals. I have them playing in one, which is a Thursday night game against Atlanta at home. Atlanta, I have two prime times, the home game against the Cardinals, which I alluded to, and a Monday night game at the Lions, and I have them do one special game, which is the Titans game in London. The Ravens, I have 4 primetime games, 4 regular primetime games for them. At the Bengals in week 1, at the Steelers. I have them at the Chargers, and then on Monday Night Football, and then home against the Dolphins in the first Amazon Prime game of the year. And then I have them playing in a Saturday game against the Ravens. Or against the Browns. The Buffalo Bills, I have them in 5 primetime games and 2 specials. So primetime, I have them at the Chargers, at the Jets, both on Sunday Night Football. And I thought I had them in one more Sunday night game. I guess not. So something's not right. So I have Bills at Chargers, Bills at Jets, Bills at the Bengals on Monday Night Football. And then Thursday Night Football, I have them hosting the Broncos. And I have them they're hosting the Jaguars on Christmas. So 4 primetime games for Buffalo. I had written down 5, but I have 4. And then I have them playing the Raiders in London. So screwed that one up a little bit. So I have the Bills at 4, but I have them in a few specials. The Carolina Panthers, I have them in 3 primetime games and 1 special. So I think the Panthers are going to get some love because of Bryce Young. I have them Monday Night Football against the Titans in Tennessee, and then hosting the Saints on Monday Night Football too. And then I have them Thursday Night Football hosting the Vikings, and then a Saturday game hosting the Colts. The Bears, I have 2 primetime games and 1 special. So the Bears, I have them at the Packers Monday Night Football, at the Bucs Thursday Night Football, and their special at the Chiefs in Germany. The Cincinnati Bengals, I have them 4 primetime games and 2 specials. So primetime, I have them playing at the Chiefs and home Ravens on Sunday Night Football. In the Ravens game, I have week 1. Monday Night Football, home Bills. Thursday Night Football at the Browns. Black Friday at the Niners. So technically 5 primetime games. I actually have them in primetime 6 times. And I have them hosting the Steelers in primetime too in week 18. And a Saturday night game with Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on the call on ABC. So the Cleveland Browns, I have 2 primetimes and 1 special. So the Browns, I have them home Jaguars Monday Night Football, home Bengals Thursday Night Football, and at Ravens on a Saturday. The Cowboys, I have them 5 primetime and 1 special. So Sunday Night Football, home Eagles, home Giants, at Niners. Monday Night Football, home Pats. Thursday night on Amazon, at Commanders. Thanksgiving, home Jets is the special. All right, the Broncos, I have them in 4 primetime games and 1 special. So 2 Sunday nighters at the Chargers, home Jets. Monday Night Football, home Commanders. And then on Amazon at the Bills. And then I have them on Christmas at the Dolphins. The Lions. I think the Lions are going to get some love this year. I have them 4 primetime, 2 specials. So Lions, I have Sunday Night Football at the Vikings, Monday Night Football at the Saints, home Falcons, Thursday Night Football at the Chiefs. And then my special for them, hosting the Seahawks on Thanksgiving. And the other one, I have them hosting the Vikings on a Saturday game. That would be, Chris Fowler. Would that be Chris and Kirk? Wait, is Kirk going to be on the B team for Monday Night Football and on Amazon Prime this year? So that's a subplot to watch out for from a media standpoint. The Green Bay Packers, not as much as they used to. I have them in prime time 3 times. Monday Night Football, home Bears, and at Steelers. And then Thursday Night Football, I have them at the Giants. And then a Saturday primetime game hosting the Chargers as the special. The Texans, I only have 1 primetime and 1 special. The primetime game, I have them on Amazon. Or no, I'm sorry. On Monday Night Football at the Colts. And then the international game at the Jags in London. The Colts. 2 primetime games I have for them. Home Texans Monday Night Football and at Jags Thursday Night Football. And a Saturday special at the Panthers. So 2 primers and a special. Jacksonville, I have 5 primetime games for them. It's probably 4 because I think I counted Christmas. And 2 specials. So a lot of Trevor Lawrence this year. Sunday Night Football, home Chiefs and at Saints. Monday Night Football at Browns. Thursday Night Football, home Colts. Christmas at Bills. I have them in a primetime game on a Saturday night at the 49ers, or home for the 49ers. So I have them 3 specials, but technically 5 primers. But one of them is a special primer. And then hosting the Texans in London. So Jags, I have 4 primers and 3 specials. The Chiefs. The Chiefs, I have the most on national TV this year. So I have them 5 primetime and 2 specials. So I have them opening night hosting the Eagles, hosting the Bengals on Sunday Night Football, and at the Jags on Sunday night. Monday Night Football, I have them at the Vikings. Thursday Night Football, I have them hosting the Lions. And then on Thanksgiving, I have them at the Chargers. And then in primetime. And then I have them hosting the Bears in Germany as a special. The Raiders, I only have 1 primetime and 1 special for them. In primetime, I have them hosting the Chargers. And their special, I have them at the Bills in London. The Chargers, I have them listed for 5 primetimes and 2 specials. So in primetime for the Chargers, I have them on Sunday Night Football hosting the Broncos, hosting the Bills, and at the Patriots. Monday Night Football, I have them hosting the Ravens. Thursday Night Football, I have them at the Raiders. Thanksgiving, I have them in primetime hosting the Chiefs. And then a Saturday in primetime, I have them at the Packers. So I have 7 primetime games for the Chargers this year. That's just a coincidence. But one of them is Thanksgiving, the other's on a Saturday night. Next up's the Rams. I only have them in 2 primetime games this year, so much for them being a powerhouse. So Monday Night Football, I have them at Seattle, and then Thursday Night Football, them hosting the Saints. Miami, I have them in primetime 4 times and 1 special. So, Sunday Night Football, I have them at the Eagles and home for the Giants. Monday Night Football, I have them home for the Jets. Thursday Night Football, I have them at the Ravens and what I think is going to be the Amazon Prime opener. And then on Christmas, I have them playing in a 1 o'clock game against the Broncos. The Minnesota Vikings, I have 4 primetime games for them and 1 special. And their special I have in primetime, ironically enough. All right. Sunday Night Football, I have for them hosting the Lions. Monday Night Football, I have them hosting the Chiefs and at the Eagles. Thursday Night Football, I have them at the Panthers. And then a Saturday special, I have them at the Lions in Week 18, which is going to be the Fowler-Herb Street game on the Saturday late afternoon. Next up is the New England Patriots. I have them 3 times in primetime and 2 specials. And one of them is a Saturday night in primetime or a late afternoon. So Sunday Night Football for New England, I have them hosting the Chargers. Monday Night Football, I have them at the Cowboys. Thursday Night Football, I have them hosting the Jets. And then Saturday special, I have them in a late afternoon game the day before Christmas Eve against the Giants at MetLife. And then international, I have them hosting the Saints in Germany. New Orleans, I have them in primetime 4 times and 1 special. I just went over their special. It was at the Patriots in Germany. All right, Saints, Sunday Night Football, I have them hosting the Jaguars. Monday Night Football, I have them hosting the Lions and at the Panthers. Thursday Night Football at the Rams. The New York Giants, I have in primetime 4 times, and I have 1 special for them. So Sunday Night Football at the Dolphins and at the Cowboys. Monday Night Football, I have them hosting the Jets in the 9/11 special in week 1. And then hosting the Packers on Amazon Prime. And then I have them on a Saturday, late afternoon, hosting the Patriots. All right, the Jets, I have in primetime. It looks like I might have put them in primetime 6 times. It might be 5, let's see, and then 1 special. All right, so Sunday Night Football, I have them at the Broncos and hosting the Bills. Monday Night Football or quote-unquote at the Giants, because that's a neutral game, because no, if either team was home, neither of them would get points for home field. And that would be on 9/11 in week 1. And then at the Dolphins. Thursday Night Football, I have them at the Patriots. And then Thanksgiving, I have them at the Cowboys. And that would be a great game. The Eagles, I have them in 6 primetime games. Well, one of them is really special, so 5 Sunday or whatever, Sunday, Monday, Thursday primetime, and one of them is a special primetime. All right, I have them on opening night against the Chiefs. And then on Sunday Night Football, I have them hosting the Dolphins and at the Cowboys. Monday Night Football, I have them hosting the Vikings again. Thursday Night Football, I have them hosting the Niners in an NFC title game rematch. And on Christmas, I have them at the Seahawks in primetime, which is a special. I consider that a special primetime, so I put that in the special category because it's Christmas and it's at night. All right, the Steelers, I have 4 primetimes and 1 special. So Sunday Night Football for the Steelers, I have hosting the Ravens at the Seahawks. Monday Night Football, I have them hosting the Packers. Thursday Night Football, I have them hosting the Titans. And then a Saturday special, I have the Joe Buck Troy Aikman special in the same spot of the schedule where Titans-Jaguars was last year at the Bengals with Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. The 49ers, I have them in primetime technically 5 times, but one of them is a special. So 4 regular primetimes and 1 special primetime. All right, so Sunday Night Football, I have them hosting the Cowboys and at the Seahawks, in which I'm going to predict is Week 18 for the NFC West. I don't have them on Monday Night Football this year, which is weird. Usually every team gets one. Or almost every team. I have them at the Eagles on a Thursday night. And then I have them hosting the Bengals on Black Friday. And then I have them at the Jaguars on December 23rd. So I moved one of their Monday night games to a Saturday. So they really have 3 regular. They have 5 primetime games, but 3 of them are regular and 2 of them are specials. So they have Black Friday and then a Saturday special. The Seahawks, ironically enough, we just talked about them. I have them in primetime a lot. They deserve it. I have them in primetime. Well, 3 regular primetime games and 2 specials, and one of them's a primetimer. So I have them Sunday Night Football hosting the 49ers in Week 18, then hosting the Steelers. Monday Night Football, I have them hosting the Rams. I don't have them on Amazon this year. And then Thanksgiving, I have them at the Lions. And then Christmas, I have them hosting the Eagles in primetime. The Buccaneers, I only have 1 primetime game for them this year, and it's hosting the Chicago Bears on Amazon. So the Cardinals and the Rams, the Bucs are the only teams that I have with 1 primetime game but 0 specials. And then the Tennessee Titans, I have 2 primetimes and 1 special for them. Their international game, I have them hosting the Falcons in London. And then in primetime, I have them on a Monday night hosting the Panthers and a Thursday night at the Steelers. And then the other team that I have with 2 primetime games but no specials is the Washington Commanders. It's them and the Rams that I have with 2 primetimers but no specials. So for the Commanders, I have, for Monday Night Football, I have them at the Broncos, and then on Amazon Prime, I have them hosting the Cowboys. So that's pretty much it for the schedule preview and predictions show. We'll see how I do. I can't wait to look at this after the schedule that comes out and see whether I was right or wrong with some of these. So I love looking back to see where I messed up, or if I got the right matchup but the wrong network per se in the same period of the day. If I I picked Ravens Bengals for Sunday Night Football, and if it's Monday Night Football instead, from that standpoint, see how close I am and whatnot. So hope you guys enjoy the rest of the night.